Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Cancer. It's time to have a look and see what is going on with regards to the week starting February 15th, 2021. And yes, we have moved to a weekly system, gone back to a weekly system after a month and a half of doing bi-weeklies. You know, I kind of feel like the reception was very split. And I, was kind of, the feedback I was kind of, I'll be honest, I wasn't really getting a whole lot of, bad feedback. I was just kind of curious as to why that was. But after talking to a good friend of mine, I actually, he made some salient points about maybe information overload. And then I was like, okay, well, you know what, then we'll just dial it back. Thank you for letting me know. So we're going back to, weeklies for now, but I will say, even though we are doing weeklies, we're actually going to be talking about some astrology here that actually influences more than just 1 week. This new moon that we're talking about in Aquarius, which actually falls on the 11th of February, is actually going to be pretty much carrying us through the very end of the month, the 25th to the 26th, depending on where you live in the world. And so just keep that in mind going forward. The tarot will be for this week, but the astrology goes for a bit longer. So how about this new moon in Aquarius and what is going on there? This new moon is falling in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, as well as self-generated income and joint finances. Now, this new moon is also square to Mars, which is in your 11th house of friendships and social networking and your platonic support system. And this is going to bring a really cool new opportunity, a really cool new gift when it comes to your intimate or professional pursuits, especially as it relates to possibly a big break with money. But it will also prompt a clash in situations where you might be having to share those resources or think you have to share those resources. We're going to be spending a lot of time this next 2 weeks looking at where there may be some oversharing going on, or where some boundaries need to be redrawn, especially when it comes to blending interests, life stories, resources, money, and lifestyles. You may also need to pay attention to where, you or you and a partner can put yourselves first, but also where this breakthrough may require you to change a destination or maybe a long-term game plan in order to accommodate what is coming through and secure it. Another thing I want to mention with this new moon in the 8th house square to Mars in your 11th house, this is something that may bring a conflict of interest when it comes to your goals, your own long-term plans for yourself, yes, but it may actually be something that shows up that you could actually grab that may actually take you away from a goal or an ideal you've been working on right now. Whether or not it's something that you feel is worth it to do or to rearrange that itinerary with when it comes to putting yourself first, of course, depends on what's going on with your personal chart. But, you're going to want to take some time with this next 2 weeks to, keep an eye on it. So what is going on here when it comes to your cards? Well, for your spiritual theme of this week, we've actually got the Ace of Cups upright, And it's going to be actually a fairly cool week because with the Ace of Cups, this is all about deepening bonds with people around us, eroding unnecessary boundaries or, and also coming forward with sentimental truths that actually make for stronger connections, stronger friendships, stronger love relationships, stronger family relationships. However, with the Ace of Cups, of course, it's also important to maintain a policy of impeccability as well as honesty. And what we're actually seeing as well is that this is a time where we get the record straight with everybody. Where is everybody standing? Who cares this way about what? How much do we care about this person or this situation? It's all going to come through, and it's going to come out in a way that has to be clear, right? Being clear and impeccable with our word. It is our responsibility. And with the Ace of Cups, it's going to draw in more and more love, more and more support, paying attention to where the rigidity of certain boundaries or certain social arrangements or, what have you that you have may be actually limiting love and limiting the opportunity for stronger and more loyal connections is also going to be a big theme of this week for you. So see what you can do to make sure that you get the best of the best possible. As we get on to your material shifts when it comes to your work, your job, your finances, well, we do have the Seven of Swords upright, and we do see an opportunity for you to maybe actually do quite well for yourself financially, but I do feel like it's something that you may have to handle with a bit of care when it comes to ethics, honor, and of course, kindness and a bit of just let's just say honor. Honor was good. We'll stop at honor. Because of the Seven of Swords, I am seeing something happening where you have a chance to take advantage of an out of the ordinary circumstance, either with your job or your financial life. But it's important that we don't let this become a shady or unstable effort. I'm not saying this is something that has to necessarily go in the direction of being shady or unstable. It really all depends on who you are allowing to be included in this matter. You may be finding that a friend, a colleague, a family member, or maybe even a client is not as trustworthy as we thought they were before, especially when it comes to maybe how they are handling our job with them or things that we have been maybe exchanging as far as information or blending, right? Blending things like credit, blending our financial interests, letting things get exchanged a bit too much. This would be one of the boundaries that's okay to keep. Because with the Seven of Swords, I am seeing you getting a chance to do something so long as you are actually able to keep it from those that might muck it up by getting involved, whether it's getting that cool job opportunity, getting that transfer, getting that extra pay, getting that extra, what have you. It might be important to know when to keep that under wraps and deal with it on your own so that we, again, put ourselves first without putting anyone out and without actually having any controversy come of it. As we get on to your communications with friends, relatives, other people in your life, we've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. And you will be confronting what looks like a codependent relationship that already exists or a codependent trend in the making as it relates to, and I'm seeing this as a friend or a relative, not a romantic partner, but, again, family or one of the guys, one of the girls, that is starting to really cramp your style and may actually prove to be something that is starting to show signs of maybe settling for less. You're constantly kind of bailing them out, or maybe the two of you have established a kind of friendship or a kind of relationship where it's like anything goes. It might be, there might be some mistreatment going on here. There might be something happening where there is also the sense that somebody is getting used, or that somebody is maybe becoming kind of a dumping ground for maybe, problems that they expect the other person to solve, whether they be emotional problems, financial problems. This is a time where I think, you have to come clean about some things that you're not satisfied with here and help this person understand what the right way to treat you is and what it is not. As we get on to your challenge this week with fire, you have the Page of Wands upright. And this is going to be a time where a lot of you, Cancerian people are challenged to make the first move. With the with the Page of Wands upright, we are getting a lot of invitations from other people, yes, but you have to treat invitations as permission to make the first move this week. An invitation in and of itself is not always the first move. And so when it comes to things like your job or maybe this new breakthrough that's coming with the astrology, you have to be the one to, call back, so to speak. You have to be the one to get the ball rolling. If things get put on the table and you don't do anything with them, do not expect the person who put it down or the person who set it on the table or the person across the table to move it closer to you or get that ball rolling themselves. Sometimes it's not about that at all. Sometimes it's about seeing your feedback. It's seeing what you're willing to do, how enthusiastic you are, and what you can do when you are given that power and that opportunity to make that first move. When it comes to love and romance, you have the Four of Wands upright. And when I gazed at it to kind of study it just before hitting the record button, I recalled getting this just the term, the word finally shouted out at me, like finally, finally, finally. And so I'm feeling like this Four of Wands is talking about a completion moment or a milestone moment where there is a chance for a lot of you Cancerian people who are maybe single or available to finally get a chance to actually explore a chemistry or a romantic opportunity with somebody that maybe for whatever reason it was just not available before. Maybe they were never available when we were available and vice versa. Or maybe it's always been something that's kind of been out there and off the ground, but we've never become more than friends or maybe even just more than acquaintances. The Four of Wands is indicating, that finally opportunity. Finally, they're getting a chance to take this for a spin. Finally, they're getting a chance to actually take a day in the life of what it would be like to be with this person. And with the Ace of Cups upright, I do feel like the interest absolutely is not only mutual and reciprocated, but it does bring an opportunity for those of you who are available for you to actually see what it would be like to be with somebody that you've always considered but never had. It's like it's like getting that burning question answered so that we can, again, if we do enjoy it, heck, keep it going. If not, okay, but at least it finally got answered. For those of you who are currently in existing relationships, the Four of Wands is indicating a finally moment when it comes to a major accomplishment being completed, or at least beginning the countdown to completion this week, as far as something that you and a partner have maybe been struggling to lock down for some time. Now, whether this is something that's been going on in recent history, the last few months, or a consistent and ongoing endeavor for the last couple of years, with the Four of Wands, it getting locked down also means it's secured there. It's actually now something that we can kind of set and move on to something else together with. I do feel like there will be a sense of a payoff or payout from this as well. Maybe not necessarily financially, but something that actually begins a new, more matured era of your relationship, or something that might actually even be a lot more stimulating when it comes to some of your more wilder imaginings together. I'm seeing a lot more fun, a lot more exuberance coming through this card as we conclude and go into the end of February as well. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.